After Fable, you went to go work at RocketReach, and I think there you had a similar situation where you started maybe on CS and then expanded into sales, and then we're running kind of the full revenue org, both the full customer journey there. Maybe like one question we haven't talked too much is like, how did you think about managing this broader team? How did you think about managing not just sort of the frontline folks, AEs and CSMs, but also managing managers and inspiring a bigger team to kind of go out and go get revenue and retain customers and all of that?
Yeah, I love that question so much. It's one of the most humble things you can do as a leader is be a first-time manager's mentor, because it kind of makes or breaks people. Like you hear from friends who had an awful first time being a manager, who got no guidance, who felt like they had to make it up as they go along. There are great tools like Lattice where you used to work that can really support people. But if you don't have somebody who's basically like your consigliere behind the scenes, you can really fall flat and it can leave a bad taste. And usually first time managers have been waiting for that opportunity for a few years, maybe even longer. And it is this potentially magical moment in their lives. I love having first-time managers be promoted from within. Like the thing that you have to have as a manager, we all know this, is that your people know that you know inside and out what the role requires for success. It doesn't mean that, there's great sales leaders who are not the best salespeople. You can do that, right? The whole kind of coach-athlete thing. But you have to know the product, for example. So in the situation at RocketReach, the folks who were those first-time managers were internal promotions. And it was delightful to see them really step into the role. Being open to coaching is something that no matter how old or young we are, we always have to have. So having that open learner's mindset is absolutely essential. Folks who come in and think that they know everything when they're first-time managers, like obviously a huge red flag. Like that's like, what are they up to? Why are they trying to power grab? Like the motivations have to be there in order to be successful. RocketReach was really interesting too. It was really my first time in SMB. It was one of my main reasons to go there, is that there's so much happening in PLG motions, in even on the enterprise side of the CS world, that are at scale. And so I really wanted to go there and dig in deep on that long tail, and it was fascinating, and I learned a ton. It was a really fun ride.
What was different about the SMB and like product-led motion? Yeah.
When you're dealing with SMB or even BSMB or any of the PLG type motions, data is obviously king. And, making sure that kind of two things. Data has to be clean. So things that haunt us, like duplicate accounts, right? Like the things that you talk to anybody in tech, are the things that haunt everyone. Being able to have a clean data set is so important. And then not boiling the ocean. You can ask your data set 20 questions, and if you get 20 answers back, you're going to get stuck. Like you're not going to know what to do. So knowing how to ask the right questions of that data, and then giving it enough time to evolve so you can see if the things that data is telling you, those 2 or 3 North Stars you're setting, have a positive impact or negative impact, and just iterate.
The other stuff I add there, because we deal with this at Doc, it's like segmentation and prioritization. It's like we have so many different types of customers, one-person users, big companies, everywhere in the middle, and it just becomes so overwhelming. And so thinking through, okay, which, we basically have an unmanaged segment and managed and super managed, and like, how do you think through that, and how do we sort of structure our day as CSMs? It gets tricky because there's just so many people reaching out to you, so many potential avenues to go in the like PLG SMB land, and different levels of user too. Like some are totally self-sufficient and don't need your help, and then others like desperately need you in there to help them. So yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by a user as a user in the sense of like how you onboard people. So that's one of my huge takeaways, was even very large enterprises, now people want just to do on-demand or group live webinars. Like you don't have to do white glove training all the time for everyone. That was really hugely impactful for us. So we started doing kind of at scale offerings that we'd offer everyone, our SMB, our mid-market, and our enterprise customers, because we still had some on that other kind of end of the segments. And we had plenty of people who just wanted to show up or watch the recording. because, RocketReach is a pretty simple tool. And so in that case, it was easy to try and see how much we could not do one-on-one with our customers. And it's a huge takeaway for me for sure.